That'll be 1387, please. Yeah, she's doing better. Thanks for asking. Thank you. Next, please. Just this today. Your total will be 2162. Thank you. 338 is your change. Hey, a weird question, but you went to Lake Valerie, right? Yeah, it's me, Liana. Wow, you look great. How long has it been since you've last been back? 4 years. Makes sense. So you ended up going to university and all that? Cool, that's awesome. Well, I'd like to catch up sometime, if you're feeling up for it, of course. Well, there's gonna be a party down by the pier tonight, if you're into that sort of thing. It'll just be a couple of us from high school, but if you don't want to come, we can figure something else out. I'm sure everyone would be happy to see how well you're doing for yourself. Right. Well, like I said, only if you want to. You have my number, right? You don't? That's surprising. Thought I gave it to you. Well, here. Here you go. Just, shoot me a text whenever you're free. Yeah. See you around. What on earth was she thinking? Showing up to her twin sister's wedding wearing a white beach dress? Like, girl, we get it. You're bitter that she stole your ex from you, but come on now. If it could get stolen, then why would you want it? Oh, hey. You actually came. No. I'm glad you did. I'm just a bit surprised is all. Didn't think any of this would be your scene, you know? In any case, you remember Florence, Mari, Bella, and their partner, right? Yeah, well, why don't we go get a drink? If you drink, that is. Do you drink? Oh, good. Well, no, not good, but not bad either. Let's go. So, you want to tell me what brought you back here? Last I heard, your family moved out of the country after they retired, right? Well, they really did that? Left the house for you to take care of? Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, it's always better to get someone to take care of that for you. Someone who specializes in that sort of thing, at least. Mm-hmm. Me? I'm just trying to get by nowadays. You remember that? No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just surprised you paid attention to anything I said that wasn't, you know, me screaming in your face to give me your homework answers. So, what did you end up studying in university? I heard from the grapevine that you got a scholarship to a conservatory or something along those lines. Wow, that's amazing. So you're performing all over the world with your orchestra now? That's... that's great. I'm really happy for you. I always knew you were going to make something of yourself. Please, give yourself more credit than that. You're probably the most talented person in school, and everyone knew it. You can't tell me you've never seen the effect you had on an audience when you performed at our winter and spring concerts. Really? No one came up to you after and told you did a good job, other than the teachers. That's really surprising. Yeah. I suppose my friends and I had something to do with that. Or, well, mostly me. Look, I'm... crap. No, of course we didn't get permission to have a party out here. You're giving a bunch of trust fund baby dropouts far too much credit. What are you doing? Come on! Don't just stand there. Run! Did you take a cab out here? Good. Less loose ends to take care of. My car's just over there. Crap. I haven't done that in a very long time. And of course, it's when you roll into town that something like this is going to happen. Talk about nostalgia, right? Yeah, when we were all at Lake Valerie, we'd always throw bonfire parties down at the beach. We'd get away with it on most nights, but sometimes the cops will show up if we're not keeping it clean. Recently, there's been an influx of people moving here out of state, and rather than minding their own business, they think busting an innocent party is a good way to pass the time. Yeah, this town is going to shit. To be fair, it's always been shit. Where trust fund babies try their best to live up to their parents' expectations, and commoners do their best to pretend like they're not pretentious pieces of trash. This idyllic town is nothing more than a prison. Yeah, well, at least you got out and made something of yourself. Please. I spent the time I was meant to be in college hitting rock bottom over and over again. A stereotypical mean popular girl who peaked in high school and couldn't make anything of herself afterward. You must be getting a kick out of this, huh? The girl who bullied you relentlessly in high school becomes an absolute nobody whilst you're out there, living the life of your dreams. I guess karma does indeed catch up to everyone. Please, save the kind words for someone who actually deserves them. Parents, help me. Please. They're the reason why I hit rock bottom. Well... Are you sure you want to hear about this? It's not all too interesting, if I'm to be honest. Just your typical sad story. Okay, well, I was set to study abroad after graduation. I was so excited. I even dedicated an entire month to exploring the country. But, when it was time to go, my parents decided to cut me off. They were never really meant to be parents. They just had me out of obligation. No, they passed the responsibility of raising me to my aunt. I didn't mind it all too much that they cut me off. I'd been smart with my money growing up, so I had more than enough tucked away to go to school, but then my aunt got sick. Hence the reason why they cut me off, yeah. I asked if they were going to help her out with her treatments. After all, it was the least they could do for having her raise me as if I was her own, but they said no. Said it was because she never paid her dues, and raising me was the least she could do for someone who never made anything of herself. They said that the reason why they cut me off was to test me. They wanted to see if I'd be as ruthless as them and use my own money to fund my future, or if I'd be weak and spend it on helping my aunt. Needless to say, I chose the latter. Had a huge fight, and I haven't spoken to them since. She passed away a few months ago, so all that money, all that time, it was all for nothing in the end. Sometimes I wonder if it would have been better if I... Anyway, my parents were in the wrong. My aunt left me everything she had, which isn't a lot, but it's enough for me to get out of here and finally start my life. She made taking care of me her job, and she's still doing it now, even after she passed on. Yeah, at the very least I can say that it wasn't without reason. My hitting rock bottom over and over again. Like I said, all of this is nothing more than just a facade. I still have a few things I need to take care of before I leave, but hopefully it'll all be squared away before the end of the year. Yeah, I honestly can't wait. I guess the good thing about losing my family is that it humbled me a lot. Taught me that all of the things I thought were important before, reputation, popularity, none of it is actually important. Needless to say, I'm sorry for everything I put you through. There's absolutely no excuse. Honestly, I can't even give you a reason for it. Suppose I thought it was amusing to pick on someone who I believed to be a nobody. Yep, I was a major bitch back then, and I had absolutely no reason to be so. Yeah. Not anymore. Yeah, that is true. We did have some fun in between the teasing and daunting. Remember that one time in the janitor's closet? Oh, please. Don't pretend like you don't. Or do I need to give you a repeat performance? It was during our calc midterm, remember? I remembered at the very last second and needed to look through someone's notes. I was frantic and panicked, and whilst my friends tried to console me, I saw you sauntering happily down the hall in the direction of our classroom. I was annoyed at first. How dare that little nobody act so confident whilst I'm here fighting for my life to pass this stupid class? I didn't even want to take calculus in the first place, but they didn't have any space in the stats class. I'll show them. But then, an idea popped into my head. What if I use this to my advantage? So, I quickly ran up to you before you could enter the classroom and direct us down the hall and into the janitor's closet. It was dark and cramped and slightly intimate. There wasn't that much room in that tiny little cupboard, what with all the supplies littered about the place. Just a small stool and enough space for the both of us to stand. I remember panting so hard, out of fear because of the test, and out of shock because I willingly came on to you. You? You were confused as anything. And it was adorable. I remember asking you for help. Rather nicely, might I add. I wanted to take a look at your notes, so I could copy them and use them during the test. But whilst I was doing that, you were looking somewhere you weren't supposed to. Much like now. I knew that look instantly and, well, used it to my advantage. So, I sat you down on that tiny little stool and climbed into your lap. Just like now. And gave you an eye and a handful whilst making my demands. And you know exactly where to touch. And when it finally registered that you were enjoying my attention, I was shocked. I mean, I did relentlessly pick on you and tease you, but to find out that you were enjoying it all, well, I know. The age-old fantasy of the bully falling in love with the person they picked on, and vice versa. But you liked it far more than you should have. And you still do, don't you? You like it when a woman puts you in your place, tormenting you, yet treasuring you, all the same. You like it when someone treats you like shit, but takes care of you in the afterglow. It's alright. You don't need to be ashamed of it. You don't need to be afraid. Plenty of people enjoy that sort of thing. You might be a well-traveled success story, but no matter how far you flew, you never found anyone who could give you what I could. It's flattering, to say the least. I don't remember much of what happened after that little encounter, other than you having a stupid grin on your face all throughout the midterm, and me passing it with flying colors. I do remember saying something along the lines of, Thanks. Let's do it again sometime. Goddess, who the hell did I think I was? Maybe, but like I said, we had quite a bit of fun back then, despite my distasteful behavior. Or, at least, I found it fun. Really now? You wouldn't call what we did that day fun? I completely believe you. Especially since you have a giant smile on your face right now. Well, it seems like you can't really recall the feeling. It was so long ago, after all. And how about a refresher? For research purposes, of course. Nothing more.